Good afternoon, classmates. I want to apologize for the lighting. Um, there's an extreme amount of sunlight coming in to my apartment at this time, and it just makes me look a little weird. So, anyway, this video is supposed to go into self disclosure, and I know that we are not usually supposed to self disclose unless it is going to benefit the client in some way. And in the past, I have discussed moments where I have self disclosed, specifically when relating to employment purposes. When I was an employment specialist and I thought it would help a client, but it backfired on me and didn't. So, didn't help the client. I wanted to pick a moment where I did self disclose, and although it did help the client, when I think back about it in hindsight, I still think I could have done it differently. And with more education, I definitely know that I could have handled it in a better way and still supported the client's needs. So, with that being said, this was a young woman, a young mother of two children. She was in Brooklyn at the time, and she did have a job, but she was on the verge of homelessness because she basically could not afford all the bills, plus the two children, plus childcare, just everything you can imagine that can come with having two kids and living in New York City, which is a very expensive city. She did have contact with her daughter's father, um, but he did not pay child support, and she had expressed that that would have helped her situation tremendously. I personally understood that because I myself was a young mother and I did not receive child support until my son was 12 years old. So I understand firsthand the damage that that can do to the household and just the extra stress that it can put on mom, right? And the kids as well. So I told her that what I just said without giving any details, and that I wouldn't mind helping her through the process of applying for child support. Um, I did do that with her successfully, and she was able to go through her child support appointments. She won a child support agreement, and we would say that that was it. She was very grateful. I was glad it turned out well. But as I stated earlier in the video, when I think back in hindsight, I don't think that I really had to disclose my personal experience with her. Um, I was not aware of countertransference and transference really at that time. I had really just graduated with a sociology degree, and this was my first case management job. Um, so I guess I felt a lot of empathy for her. But I needed to be cautious because that situation could have gone another way. What if her daughter's father would have become aggressive, angry, or violent, right? Or I just think of things like that. And that was something that I did not consider at the time. So if I had that similar situation now, I think more than likely what I would do is guide the person towards their local state or government offices where they can then meet and speak with someone who can better inform them on the process. And I wouldn't necessarily become so personally involved with the matter. So again, I just wanted to bring up that moment of self-disclosure where it did help the client, but I still think I could have handled it differently. So my question for the class is, has anyone had a moment of self-disclosure where it actually did help the client, but when they consider it now in hindsight, they would not have self-disclosed? So I hope everyone has a great weekend ahead of them, and I love to hear your answers. Bye bye.